Good day, students. So today we will be talking about job costing, activity-based costing, and process costing. Basta lagi nyo lang tatandaan, when we say job costing, si job class, we are talking about unique products. Sa process costing, we will be talking about identical products. Then sa activity-based costing, okay, almost similar sa job costing. However, ang ating magkakaiba-iba lang tong tatlo sa overhead expenses. So, what are the three types of expenses? Yung si direct materials, direct labor, and overhead. So, si overhead yung focus natin ngayon sa costing. Sa job costing, itong tatlo, meron tayong tinatawag na normal cost. Again, si normal cost, similar yan sa applied, standard, at saka predetermined, budgeted. Okay? Ibig sabihin, yan yung inalat mo na budget dyan. Dito sa process costing naman, si direct cost na labor at saka si overhead, meron tayong direct materials at saka conversion cost. Tapos sa activity-based costing naman, we will have to itemize the overhead expenses. So, dito sa traditional method natin, similar sa job costing, traditional method of explaining our overhead expenses, dito, si overhead expense is dinivide natin kung ilang units yung ating quantity produced. Sa ABC, before we do that, ang ginagawa natin is in-itemize natin si overhead. Example, sa mga overhead expenses, as example is yung mga cost sa assembly line, cost mo sa machine, cost mo sa packaging. Okay, so yung difference nito is sa activity-based costing or ABC costing, yung ating mga different responsibility centers, tinitingnan natin yung kanyang allocation base. Ibig sabihin ng allocation base, we will have to assign kung ano yung kanyang dapat na unit sa costing. Halimbawa, sa assembly, yung means of paying natin doon sa mga o yung mga cost natin is based doon sa number of output, number of, let's say, number of units or number of products produced. Sa machine, paano natin ma-allocate yung cost? Kailangan nating makita yung machine hours. Okay, so gaano katagal tumatakbo yung machine, yung cost niyan based doon sa ating machine hours. Or halimbawa sa packaging, based sa labor hours, kunyari halimbawa yung babayaran natin yung labor niyan is based doon sa ilang oras nagtrabaho yung mga workers. Okay, so based sa labor hours. So dito sa tatlo, sa process costing, aside from the conversion cost, you have to know the equivalent units. So ilan yung ating mga units produced, or pwede natin yung tawagin na EUP, or the equivalent unit of production. So sa EUP, katumbas niyan of course is cost per equivalent unit or cost per EUP. So kailangan nating i-determine yung equivalent unit of production, or ilan yung na-produce natin, or ilan yung na-produce, ano yung cost niyan per item. Sa ABC naman, meron tayong tinatawag na activity rates. So you have to determine ilan yung cost per unit ba, per number of items na produce, per number per labor hours, or per machine hours, rather than dito sa ilan yung ating per labor hours. So let's dig into job costing first. So sa example natin, we have the following. Okay, so given this example, manufacturing overhead application, problem and solution. Ito yung sinagutan nyo. So, sagutin natin. Delta Company uses a job order cost system and applies overhead to production based on the direct labor hours. So, labor hours yung ating allocation base. And then, nung January 1, so this was the only job in process. The cost occurred to January 1 for job 45 is the direct materials 15,000. So, okay, job 45. Ang direct materials natin ay 15,000. Ang inyong direct labor, that will be 8,000. And ang manufacturing overhead is 12,000. Okay, again, you have to see if normal cost ba to or actual cost. So, uses job order system, applies overhead production. So, sabi dito, applies overhead production based on the labor hours. So, si labor hours, ito yung actual yan. No? Basta sinabing labor hours, yun yung actual na basis natin sa allocation base. So, incurred, so actual to, dahil incurred yan. Okay? Tapos, additionally, job 42, completed 50,000. Okay? Raw materials inventory had an account balance of 10,000 pesos. So, again, yung pinag-uusapan natin dito ay cost. So, sa January 21, the company began producing 46, 47. So, this is to show you na, again, yung ating mga overhead expenses that could be composed of different jobs. Okay? Pwedeng job 46, job 47, at ano pa? Okay? 46, 47, and 45. Okay? Yung kanyang overhead expenses, ito sa job 45 lang. Pero sabi dito, nung January, na-complete niya yan and sold an account during the month to 100,000 and 120,000. So, ito mga revenue yan. So, we're not talking about revenue here since the question and the problem is not also asking us for the net profit. So, hindi natin yan gagalawin. So, the following cost incurred. Okay. So, nag-purchase tayo ng 60,000 pesos on account. So, ito class, this is to show you na itong 60,000 pesos, this is the cumulative purchasing amount ng raw materials natin from job 46, 47, and 45. Therefore, total jobs, ito ay total jobs. Ang ating incurred na cost ay direct materials, that will be 60,000 pesos. Okay, let's proceed to direct labor. Anong sinabi dyan? Sabi sa direct labor, yung labor cost 40,000 which included 10,000 related. So sabi included. So ibig sabihin yung 10,000 na to included sa 40,000. 10,000 related to employer payroll taxes. When we say payroll taxes, so possible na lahat ng employer kasama dito sa payroll taxes. So possible itong 10 o 10,000, hindi lang ito yung this does not include the direct labor only, pero sa lahat. That's why si 10,000 kasama yan sa ating overhead expenses. So paano natin gagawin yan? So 40,000 minus 10,000 na overhead is 30,000. So si 30,000 lang yung ating direct labor. How about for the manufacturing overhead expense? So sa manufacturing overhead, so itotal nyo to lahat: indirect materials, indirect labor, the depreciation, and overhead cost. So, that will be 12,000 plus 11,000. So, if I were you class while watching, mag-add mo sa inyong calculator para makasunod mo. So, plus 13,000. Okay, that will be 51,000. Plus 10,000 na galing dito sa ating number 2 na given. Okay? So, yung total natin na overhead is 61,000, which is your actual cost. Okay? So, actual yan. Total jobs ng actual. Ngayon, class, dito, sabi, Assign the direct materials and labor to the jobs as follow. So, ito, 10,000, 25,000 assigned. Possible yan class is only normal cost dahil assigned lang siya. So, job 45 is not the actual incurred na mga cost. So, sa job 45, job 46, so, i-itemize natin no, sa job 47. Sa job 45, yung direct materials natin is, okay, direct materials, direct labor, and overhead expenses. So, 10,000 pesos. Okay, 10,000 pesos. Tapos, 25,000. At 20,000 sa job 7. Okay, let's proceed to the direct labor, which is 6,000 sa job 45, then 15,000 sa job 46, at 12,000 sa job 47. Okay. The company uses direct labor hours as activity base. So, meron tayong direct labor hours as activity base to assign the overhead. So, direct labor hours incurred is 300 hours. So, actual to, ito rin yung gagamitin natin sa normal costing. Actual and normal. Okay. So, 300 hours, 1,000 hours. And 800 hours. So, paano natin malalaman kung ilan yung manufacturing overhead? So, what will you do? Anong sabi dito? Delta Company estimates its total manufacturing overhead cost to be. So, meron tayong word na estimates. Therefore, this is a projection. So, 480,000. Tapos, sabi niya, 24,000 hours. Itong 24,000 hours na to, this is to show you, kaya niya binanggit dito sa taas na madami tayong job kasi itong 24,000 hours, ito yung hours for the total jobs sa lahat ng job. So, paano mo malalaman yung cost per hour ng bawat job? So, of course, 48,000 or 4,800 divided by 24,000. So, your predetermined overhead rate or predetermined overhead rate or POHR, ang formula natin is, as we know, predetermined overhead rate is equal to saan na yun? Estimated, ayan, predetermined overhead rate is equal to estimated overhead divided by the estimated allocation base, or labor hours ba yan or machine hours ba yan. So for this example, we are using the labor hours. Dahil sabi dito, we are using labor hours. Okay? Okay. Therefore, 480,000 divided by 24,000 hours. So, this will be 20 pesos. Okay? 20 pesos. 20 pesos per labor hour. Okay. So, may projection na tayo. Labor hour. So, paano mo malalaman kung magkano yung overhead natin? E di, of course, multiply 20 pesos by its manufacturing hours. So, 300 times 20, that will be 6,000 pesos. And then, your 1,000 labor hours times 20, that is 20,000. Tapos, 800 times 20, that is 16,000. So, ayan, meron ka ng manufacturing overhead. In total, kailangan mo malaman magkano yung total nito. Okay? So, 6,000 plus 20,000. Normal to ha. Ito yung assigned, predetermined. Ito yung sa budget. Nag-budget sila. So, kailangan natin pala mag-costing class para malaman natin kung magkano yung allocated cost per item or per quantity para malaman natin if mag-record na tayo sa journal entries how much yung i-jot in natin na cost of goods sold. Okay, so 6,000 plus 20,000 plus 16,000, that is 42,000. Ayan, so meron na tayong manufacturing overhead na normal. So ito 61,000, ito yung actual. Okay, so ano yung sabi dito? Calculate the predetermined overhead rate. Okay, ito na yun. Na-answer na natin yung first question. Next, compute the amount of overhead applied to each job. Okay, na-answer na rin natin yan. Ito yung overhead per each job. And number 3, determine whether manufacturing overhead is applied or under-applied. Okay, tingnan natin kung manufacturing overhead. Again, class, pag mas malaki si actual kaysa kay normal cost na overhead, meaning, yung iyong tinarget na cost is hindi mo na achieve dahil mas malaki yung actual. So, maganda ba to or hindi? Of course, pangit. Bakit? Kasi, hindi mo na project ng tama yung iyong amount. So, ibig sabihin, you're expecting na ganito lang yung cost mo, pero mas malaki pala. So, ngayon, if mas malaki ang actual kaysa sa normal, so maganda yun, hindi. Of course, pangit. Pag mas malaki naman, mas maliit naman si actual sa normal cost or yung cost ng overhead na iyong tinarget, mas maliit siya. So, mas maganda to. So, ang tawag natin dito kapag mas malaki si actual cost, ang tawag dyan ay under-applied. Ibig sabihin, under-applied yung iyong normal cost or mas mababa yung normal cost mo. Pero pag ganito naman, mas malaki si actual, ang tawag dyan ay over-applied. Okay? So, that will be for the job costing. Right, so let's proceed to process costing. So, sa process costing class, again, for comparison, si job order costing, unique yung product. Sa process costing, we are dealing with identical products. That's why it is important na makita natin yung cost per product. Hindi na natin iisa-isahin, kumbaga, yung kanyang mga activities per product. So, or per organization na, per manufacturing overhead rather. So, we use cost of production report. So, ito yung kailangan nating i-produce. So, for our terms, meron tayong tinatawag na normal lost units. Ito yung mga number of units na expected na mawawala or to be lost, wasted, or rendered unusable during the production process under normal operating conditions. So, ito na yung expected nyo. Beyond this, if more than that yung lost units, ang tawag doon ay abnormal lost units. So, ito yung units that are expected na ma-lost. So, dito sa process costing, importante na alam natin yung mga terms like units to account for, units accounted for. So, this will always be equal. The units accounted for and units to account for. Tapos, yung UTAF natin, may katumbas siya na cost. Okay? Which is CTAF. Tapos, yung ating UAF or the units accounted for, meron din yung cost, which is CAF. Okay? Si conversion cost class, again, sa previous discussion natin, ito yung combination of direct labor and manufacturing overhead. So, ganyan pag-deal ng ating process costing. So, kino-compute natin sa process costing yung ating EUP or the equivalent units of production. This measures the work done on incomplete units during a specific accounting period. So, ito yung converts partially completed units into their full equivalent in terms of production effort or cost. So, ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina, na katumbas na cost. Katumbas ng equivalent unit of production cost, meron tayong cost per equivalent unit. Meron din tayong cost to account for or CTAF at CAF na cost accounted for, which is the total cost allocated doon sa ating units that were produced during the accounting period, or cost ng UAF, ito ay cost ng UTAF. Okay, so dito sa process costing, may dalawa tayong method, the FIFO method and weighted average method. Sa FIFO method, dahil first in first out tayo, ito yung nawala, so ito yung i-account natin na cost. So, if you will remember your previous lesson from your previous course, yung FIFO may another computation and same with the weighted average. Dito sa FIFO, kung ano yung cost nito, yun lang yung ating cost of production. So, from here, sa WIP beginning natin, about 20% yung ating na complete. So, from here, ito lang yung i-compute natin, no? Para malaman natin yung 80% of production cost. Tapos, or 80% na hindi pa kumbaga partially pa na completed. Sa weighted average naman class, since weighted yung average natin, yung pag-compute natin ng cost is kahit 20% na yung completed mo, babalik tayo sa start kung magkano yung total nitong lahat, yun yung i-compute natin. The 100% cost ng ating inventory or ng ating accounted cost. So, for example, okay, Bertuzzi Tires has 3 departments. Its first department, the processing department. So, ito yung gagawa natin ng production cost or production report sa processing department. This shows the data sa July. Okay, so, pag binigyan kayo ng example ng process costing, magpapakita talaga tayo dito ng ilang percent yung ating na-complete nung beginning at ilang percent naman yung ating ending. So, iba-iba ng depende sa problem. So, itong WIP ending, in units to, we can solve for this after knowing. Ito yung ating mga production na nag-start, yung ating WIP beginning, ayan. So, malalaman na natin yan through that. Okay, so, let's solve. So, sa process costing, pwede natin siyang ilagay sa table. So, gumawa na ako ng table para hindi na tayo mahirapan. So, let's determine yung ating mga cost and units na nawawala. So, ayan. Dito sa ating table, makikita natin dito, meron siyang dalawang part. Itong first part dito sa taas, this talks about the units. Okay? So, i-highlight natin to ng yellow. Yan. Kasi units yan. Tapos, ito namang cost sa baba, mga cost lahat yan. Okay, that's why highlight natin ng blue. Para hindi kayo malito. Then, again, FIFO yung gagamitin natin. So, yung mga materials dito sa taas, so hindi na natin to fill upan. Or materials or cost dito sa taas, so hindi natin na yan fill upan since we will be using average costing or weighted average costing. Yan. So, this is for the FIFO. Okay. Fill upan lang yan sa FIFO. Okay. So, let's fill this up. Kailangan malaman natin yung mga units account for. So, from the beginning, WIP. So, makikita natin, no, ito yung ating given. So, using the weighted average method, prepare a production report. So, huwag niyong kakalimutan, may nag-answer ng walang title. So, lalagyan niya yan, of course. So, Bertuzzi Tires, production report sa processing department to na report. Then, for the month ended in July, because this is for the month of July. Alright. So, mag-start tayo dito sa units to account for. Ayan. So, makikita natin dito, units in WIP beginning. So, meron tayong 8,000 units. So, fill up natin yan ng 8,000. Ayan. So, hanapin naman natin ito. Sabi dito, units started during the month. Ayan. Units started in production during the month, 94,000. So, lagay natin dito, 94,000. So, sa 94,000, total units to account for. So, of course, i-plus na lang natin yan si 8,000. So, plus natin si 8,000. Plus is 94,000. So, magkakaroon tayo ng total units to account for or UTAF na 102,000. Okay. Completed and transferred out. So, sabi dito, meron tayong units completed and transferred out. Given din yan, 92,000. So, let's fill this up. Completed and transferred out, 92,000. So, class, yung units to account for, that must be equivalent to our units to account for. So, lagay na natin agad yan dyan. So, automatic na siya, nag-ano na siya, no? Kasi, naka-format yung aking Excel na ginawa. So, paano mo malalaman yung ending WIP, no? So, let's go back. Kung yung units transferred is 92,000, tapos yung units to account for is 102,000, so, i-minus natin para makuha natin kung ilan yung ating ending WIP, which is 102 minus 92,000. So, of course, that will be 10,000 pesos. So, dahil dito, ayan, bakit siya naka-automatic? So, dahil dito, sabi niya, completed and transferred out. Pag sinabing transferred out, completed, so 100% yung direct materials natin, 92,000. 92,000 yung ating conversion cost. Dahil completed and transferred out. Kaso, sabi sa problem natin, 90% incompletion with respect to, so meron, ayan, ito meron, tapos tayo dito. 90% completion with respect to materials. And 60% completion with respect to the conversion cost. So, ibig sabihin, yung ating ending WIP, 90% nun, yung completed and with respect to materials, and 60% yung sa ating conversion cost. So, ang mangyayari dyan is, pero pag walang nakalagay na ganito, na with respect to materials, dahil yung materials natin, nandyan na yan, nabili na yan, ayan na yung cost, automatic, take note ha, automatic, pag walang nakalagay na with regards to materials, automatic yan dito, kung ano yung ending WIP ng physical units, yan dito sa direct materials. Same sa laboratory exercise. So, dito, dahil meron tayong naka-allocate na 90%, yung 90% ng 10,000 is in terms of materials, okay, 90% times B13, okay, 9,000 pesos. And with respect to conversion cost, 60%. So, ang 60% ng B13 times 0.6 is 6,000. So, that's where we get this numbers. So, yung total equivalent units natin, of course, i-plus lang natin yung ating completed and transferred out plus yung ating ending balance. Okay, so yan yung total equivalent units. So, meron tayong 15,000. Or wait, why? Hindi pala to 9,200. This is 92,000. So, meron tayong 98,000 tsaka 101,000. Okay, so let's proceed naman dito sa baba. Beginning WIP, cost to account for. So, dahil meron tayong nakalagay dito na cost, beginning, so meron tayong 110,500. So, lagay natin yung cost. 110,500 ng beginning. Okay, again class, when we say, that is for the direct materials. Dito tayo sa conversion cost. When we say conversion cost, ito yung sum ng direct labor and conversion cost. Okay? So, yung katumbas nito sa 110,000, 33,000 plus 26,000. So, let's add this. Use your calculator. 33,000 plus 26,000 plus 26,000. That is 59,000. So, dito makukuha natin yung 59,000. Tapos, dito naman sa ating total, i-plus lang natin yung 110 plus 59. Okay. So, meron tayong 169,000 na ending inventory. So, dito naman tayo sa 950,000. So, cost incurred during the year. Dito sabi may cost incurred daw tayo during the year na 950,000. So, jot in natin, 950,000. So, yung equivalent niya na conversion cost, 310 plus 170, ilan? 310,000 plus 170,000. So, that is 480,000. So, meron tayong conversion cost na 480,000. Tapos, itotal din natin yan sila. Okay. So, yung total natin is 1,430,000. So, ngayon, nakuha na natin yung mga cost by using this given. So, nakuha na natin, nagamit na natin lahat ng given. So, let's proceed in solving this cost to account for. Ayan. So, cost to account for, of course, i-plus natin yung nasa taas. 110 plus ito. Meron na tayong 1,060,500. Okay. So, again, ito, i-total natin yung 1,6,539 at saka 1,060,500 plus 539, that will be 159,500. Okay, so dito na tayo sa cost per equivalent. Magkano daw yung cost per unit nito? Okay? So, para makuha natin yung total cost, okay, which is itong C20 or itong 1,060,000 divided by equivalent units. Ilan yung total units niyan? Which is C15. Okay, so meron tayong 10.50 or 10.5 per unit. Tapos, dito naman, ganun din, divide natin ito. So, yan. So, meron tayong 5.50. Ibig sabihin, per unit ng direct materials, ito yung cost. Ang 10.50 at saka 5.5. So, ilan yung cost niyan? Ipag-pinlas nyo. So, ipa-plus mo yan para makuha mo yung per unit, cost per unit. So, same as with this formula above. Copy lang natin yan para malaman natin ang 10.5 plus 5.5, that will be 16 pesos. Okay? So, okay na. Dito naman tayo sa cost of units and completed and transferred out. So, para makuha natin itong cost of units of completed and transferred out, pwede nyong i-times itong ating cost equivalent times ilan yung completed and transferred out, 92,000. Yan. Kaya nakakuha tayo ng 966. So, same din dito sa kabila. I-times natin ng 5.50 ito times dito sa completed and transferred out, no? Nandito tayo na column, 92,000. So, ayan. We got 506,000. So, i-plus din natin yan. Same dito sa formula, dito sa taas, si 966 plus 506,000. That will be 1,472,000. So, yung ending natin na work in process, ayan, ending, work in process. So, yung cost nito, nitong ating C21 times yung ending inventory na 9,000, which is C13. Okay, so that will be 94,500. So, same as with this, 5.50 times itong 6,000 natin. So, that will be 33,000 pesos. So, add natin yung 33 and 94. Ang total cost natin dito is 127,500. So, dahil same lang yan, tingnan natin para malaman natin kung check yung ating answer. I-plus natin itong dalawa, 966 plus 945. So, plus, okay, pag na-plus natin, that will be 1,060, which is equal dito sa ating total cost to account for. Again, bakit ganun? Diba sabi ko kanina, itong total units to account for dapat equal dito. So, makikita mong check yan kapag ito equal sa nandito mo. So, same lang din dito, 506 plus 33,000. So, 539. So, equal din siya dito sa total cost to account for. So, add lang natin both sides. Okay, so yung total cost natin is 1,599,500. So that will be for our process costing. And so proceed naman tayo sa activity-based costing. Activity-based costing is a cost accounting method that assigns overhead and indirect costs to the products and services based on the activities that contribute to those costs. So, ibig sabihin, as I've explained earlier, si activity-based costing, hindi lang isa yung ating manufacturing overhead. Si manufacturing overhead natin is, i-quantify pa natin yung kanyang mga costs based dun sa kanyang activities, para makuha natin yung predetermined overhead rate or ilan yung cost mo per labor hours ba yan, per machine hours. So, para mo makuha kung ilan yung manufacturing overhead mo, so of course, yung rate mo, i-times mo dun sa estimated allocation days. Or halimbawa, sabihin natin, si job order number 1 is 300 hours. Ayan. So, i-base mo dyan. So, example class, Double Bounce Trampolines produces 2 models of trampolines for backyard fun. The original and the recently introduced deluxe. So, let's say standard or original and the deluxe. Okay? So, ang ginamit ko dito sa example is standard, yung ginamit ko na word, hindi original. So, the deluxe model introduced several safety features that were intended to scare overly protected parents into upgrading. Since its introduction, the deluxe model has been increasing in sales. But at the same time, the company's profits have been declining. So, the CFO believes that the company's traditional costing system may be to be blamed. So, let's compare traditional costing system wherein yung ating manufacturing overhead is only based on the traditional accounting of isang buo. I-divide natin kung ilan yung total hours. Pero sa ABC kasi, di ba, iisa-isahin. So, currently, so i-compare natin yan. We will be computing the traditional costing and the activity-based costing sa ating manufacturing overhead. So, currently, the company uses direct labor hours. So, ito yung ating gagamitin na allocation base as the basis for applying overhead. So, the company estimates that it will incur 600,000 overhead cost in the next year. So, let's digest this one. Okay, so meron tayong estimated overhead na 600,000. So, paano natin makukuha yung first, ang required is compute the predetermined overhead rate. So, ano ulit yung formula ng predetermined overhead rate? So, again, predetermined overhead rate is computed by the following: estimated manufacturing overhead divided by the estimated labor hours. So, yung manufacturing overhead natin is 600,000, divided by natin dun sa labor hours natin. So, ngayon, ang tanong ko, class, ilan ba yung labor hours nito? So, tanongin natin, yung standard or the original na product is 50 pesos ang direct materials. Yung ating direct labor is 10 pesos per hour. Pero dito, sa isang unit, meron siyang 20 pesos na gasto. Ibig sabihin, ilang oras yung na-accumulate dito para ma-produce natin si standard. 20 divided by 10, of course, that will be 2 hours. So, 600,000, ayan. 600,000 yung ating manufacturing overhead. So, dito, 2 hours. Ayan. Dito sa kabila, if meron tayong 30 pesos na gasto, if 10 pesos ang per hour, ilang oras to na-produce si deluxe? Okay. So, that will be 3 hours. And, dito naman, if meron tayong 2 hours per labor hour, at meron tayong 7,000 units, therefore, ang total labor hours natin para ma-produce tong standard na item or standard na product or service, that will be 14,000 because 7 times 2 hours, 14,000 yung kailangan nating magamit na oras para ma-produce ito standard. Yung para sa 7,000 units. Para dito naman sa deluxe, ilang oras yung kailangan nating para ma-produce deluxe, ilang oras. So, 2,000 units times 3 hours, that will be 6,000 labor hours. So, i-plus mo yung dalawa, 14,000 plus 6,000. Okay, that will be 20,000 labor hours. So, para makuha natin yung estimated, yung total labor hours, kasi again, si 600,000 is the manufacturing overhead for both the products, for both jobs. So, 600,000 divided by the total labor hours of these two products, which is 20,000, that will be, okay, 30 pesos per labor hour. So, ayan, meron ka ng 30 pesos per labor hour. So, yan ang tinatanong, predetermined overhead rate. So, using the traditional costing, paano natin malalaman kung how much yung each unit? Okay, so 50 plus 20. So, let's compute for its labor hours, for its manufacturing overhead cost using this using this predetermined overhead rate per hour 30 pesos. Okay? 30 pesos per labor hour. Dito sa isang standard, meron tayong 2 hours. So, ilan yon? Ilang manufacturing overhead? How much yung manufacturing overhead? Given na 2 hours, tapos 30 pesos per labor hour. So, ilan yung manufacturing overhead yan? Okay, let's proceed to the next, para malinis yung papel natin. Okay, let's answer this. Yung direct materials ay 50 pesos. So, yan, hinapi lang natin. Yung labor hours, 20 pesos. So, dito, para masagot natin to, 2 hours times 30. Okay? That will be, of course, 60. Dito naman, 3 hours times 30. Of course, that will be 90. So, therefore, para makuha mo yung cost per product, okay, dapat i-add mo yung tatlo. So, that will be 50 plus 20 plus 60. Okay, that will be 130. Then 75 plus 30 plus 90, that will be 195. So, that is for the traditional method. Bakit traditional? Kasi again, yung manufacturing overhead natin, binigayan na tayo na presyo, then dinivide lang natin sa units, which is 7,000 units, and based sa iyang labor hours. So, dito class, hindi natin inisip kung itong manufacturing overhead is hindi based on labor hours lahat. Okay? Baka yung manufacturing overhead natin, madaming mga factors to consider, like ilang oras ang machine hours, ilang oras ang labor hours. Yan. So, depende, no? So, let's use activity-based costing. Sa activity-based costing, you have to consider the activity rate. You also have to project ilan yung itong activity rate na to, ilan yung kanyang katumbas na manufacturing overhead. Okay? So, there are 3 activities in this manufacturing overhead. Kanina, di ba, inisa niya lang. Ngayon, dinisect niya pa si manufacturing overhead. From this cost, meron tayong 3 activities: assembly, receiving reports, and testing. Okay, number of tests. Sa manufacturing overhead na to, na-divide siya into 3. 100,000 na gastos sa assembly, 200,000 na gastos sa receiving, and 300,000 na gastos sa testing. Ngayon, para mo malaman yung activity rate or ilan yung cost per labor hours, of course, tingnan mo yung total. Ngayon, sabi dito yung activity rate, di ba labor hours to? Sabi dito, ito yung number of labor hours na na-produce per item. Ang total niyan class is 15,000 yung nagamit niya na labor hours. Ito yung reports, 4,000 reports. Ito number of tests, 1,000 number of tests. Ngayon, sa standard na product or the original product, sa 15,000, 111,667 labor hours yung nagamit ng standard. Then, 3,333 yung nagamit ng deluxe. Same as with this. In receiving reports, 4,000 yung nagamit in total. Sa standard, 2,000. Sa deluxe, 2,000. Number of tests, 200 yung test sa standard. And then, 800 yung test sa deluxe. So, pag tinotal mo tong 11,333, ito, 15,000. Ito naman, pag tinotal mo yung 2,000 at saka 2,000, 4,000. 2,000, 200, tsaka 800, that will be 8,000. Okay. So, para mo makita, class, of course, kung ito ay labor hours, meron tayong 15,000 labor hours, kailangan mong malaman magkano per hour. So, what you have to do is to divide 100,000 divided by 15 para mo malaman yung activity rate. Okay? So, 100,000 divided by 15,000, that will be $7 per labor hour. So, let's check 100,000 divided by 15,000. So, that is 6.667. Ito pala ino-note ko sa inyo. Please don't forget. please use up to 3 decimal places kasi magkakaiba-iba yung answer natin if you don't use 3 decimal spaces. So, mali itong ginawa ko na nagdiretsa ako ng 7. Sadyang 7 yung lumabas kasi yung Excel naka format na walang decimal space. And then, para mo makuha yung activity rate nito, so 200,000 divided by 4,000. So, i-divide ninyo, divided by 4,000. Okay, sakto. 50 per report. Si 300,000 naman, divided by 1,000, that is 300 per report. O per test. Okay? So, ngayon, nakuha na natin yung kanyang rate per ano tawag dito? Per allocation base. Ngayon, ang kailangan mong malaman, if ito yung per allocation base, ilan yung overhead expense sa standards. Okay? So, ang gagawin mo, 667, ita-times mo dito sa units, kung ilan na units yung nagamit ni standard. So, 6.67, 667, times 11,667, that will be 77,783.889. Okay. So, huwag nyo na lang ipansinin yan kasi mali yan. And then, dito naman sa ikalawa, ganun din. 50 times 2,000, that will be 10,000 or 100,000. And 300 times 200, that is 60,000. So, that is the manufacturing overhead applied. So, let's compute also dito sa kabila. Okay? Sa deluxe, ilan? 333 times 6.67. Okay, times 6.67, that is 22,231.11. Okay. So, huwag nyo nang pansinin yung aking estimation kasi mali yun. Dapat ganito yung gamitin natin. So, next, 50 per report times 2,000, that is 10, 100,000. And 3, ilan to? 240,000. Okay, 240,000. So, how much yung ating manufacturing overhead ng standard, yung total manufacturing overhead at total manufacturing overhead ng deluxe. So, of course, i-add natin yan. Okay, so let's add 77,783.889 plus 100,000 plus 60,000. So, that is 237,783.889. Sa kabila, ganun din. So, that is 22,231.11 plus 100,000 plus 240,000. So, that is 362,231.11. 231.11. Okay. So, nagkamali yan sa pag-enter sa Excel. Okay. Ngayon, kailangan mo namang malaman, ma-estimate mo kung magkano yung per unit. Okay. Dito, meron tayong 7,000 units. Dito, may 2,000 units. So, kailangan mong i-divide, of course, this amount dun sa number of units para mo malaman kung ilan yung cost niya per item ng standard and per item ng deluxe. Okay, so let's proceed. 237,783.889 divided by 7,000 units. So, meron tayong 33.969. Okay, so estimated cost per unit or cost of unit. Okay, 33.97. Sa kabila, 362,231.11 divided by 2,000 units. So, ang ating cost per item is 181.11. So, lagay natin yan dito, tsaka dito, para natin ma-determine yung manufacturing overhead per unit. Okay, so 33.97 and okay, isulat natin to 181.11. Therefore, total natin yan para malaman natin yung cost per unit. So 50 plus 20 plus 33.97, that is 103.97 per unit, and 286.11. Okay. So therefore, makikita natin, maiko-compare na natin yung ating normal costing sa traditional costing. Okay. Dito, nag-activity based tayo sa manufacturing overhead. So let's compare. Okay, sa activity-based costing, 103.97 to 81. Okay, makikita nyo dito, ito 130, 195. Pero pareho lang na base is 600,000 ang manufacturing overhead. Okay. Pero as you can see, dito sa standard, okay, ito yung conclusion do sagot sa tanong niya. Under sa traditional costing, standard units are overcosted. Okay, overcosted ang standard units. Mas mataas ang ating traditional. And deluxe units are 91.11 undercosted. Okay, mas mababa siya sa ating traditional costing. In short, ang ating ABC is more applicable kasi talagang inisa-isa natin yung cost. Mas ano siya, mas accurate kumbaga si ABC costing. Pero however, bakit daw sa tanong na required, bakit daw mas preferred ng ibang mga organization gumamit ng traditional costing kaysa activity-based costing? Because the data to be gathered is way more high. Pag madami na, kumbaga, intricate na computation. Tapos pag nag-focus kayo dun sa maliliit na cost, minsan hindi na cost efficient sa kanila to focus on these details. Why? Because syempre, kapag meron kang kumuha ka ng tao na mag-focus dun sa mga cost, you have to hire. So, that will be for our activity-based costing. So, thank you so much for listening.